I'm here because I am surrounded by supportive people. Saying yes to challenges is a very important thing. Being very open-minded, having the right amount of courage to push back when it's necessary. If you want to be a people leader, you have to be comfortable sitting behind the curtains and watching the stage come out and shine, not for you, but for the people who are part of your team. And if your team is being recognized for the success that they're actually delivering themselves, then you are successful as a leader. My full name is Engelbert Nolasco. Well, people call me Gel. I've started working in the BPO industry, I think, that was a long time ago now. I think that was 2003. I started working as an outbound telemarketer for a contact center in the Philippines. Way back then, we were part of the pioneer batch. So I think most of the people who would watch this video would agree that way back in 2003, the contact center or the BPO industry in the Philippines was just booming. I've been privileged to be given the grandiose title of President and CEO of Guild Solutions Inc. I look after all of the offshoring arm of Guild Group Holdings. I'm based here in Melbourne, so yeah. So prior to GSI, I was already managing people. So I think prior to Guild, I was with many different companies, most of them Australian. So I had the privilege of working with Macquarie, an investment bank, also based in Australia, but they have an offshoring office in the Philippines. I've also worked with a number of Australian companies like Telstra, not directly for Telstra, but for a BPO company that manages Telstra in the Philippines. Like what I mentioned, I've been managing people for quite some time, so managing people is not really new to me. It was 2017 when I joined Guild. So I found a job ad looking for a deputy head of regional operations. It had a very interesting requirement where you would have to travel between Manila and Ho Chi Minh City every now and then, because back then we still had a team in Vietnam. So I took the chance because I had this childhood dream of being a jet setter or whatever. I mean, who hasn't? So it was 2020 when Guild established its own company. Transferring to Guild, it was kind of a challenge. This was the first time I worked for a medium-sized business. It has its own challenges, but so far this has been my longest tenure in any of the companies I've worked with in the past. So I think this is the 5th time I'm going to use the word privilege, but really I've been very grateful for the past 6-7 years I've been working in this company so far. Are there times that I felt that I would just like to give up and all that? Oh, yes. But it's important for you to be surrounded by people who support you all the time. But equally, it's also necessary for you to be surrounded by people who don't support you as well. You have to look for things that interest you. I like driving. I think most of the people that know me know that I like driving. So when they see in my social media stories that I'm going for a long drive, maybe to Sydney, that will take me around a fair 9-12 hours each way, they know that I need to do a refresh. Apart from long drives, might not strike the people around me, but I also pray. I do a lot of praying before I sleep and when I wake up in the morning. You need to know where to draw strength from. You need to know where to draw your faith from. And apart from that, I mean, I'm surrounded by my family. So yeah, I think I'm always reminded that when things fail, when things don't go your way, there are still people that remind me that it's possible to set things correctly, and you'll never run out of time. I think that's the most important part. I think personally, the biggest achievement so far is making my children's future brighter. Again, this is just not me. I've been supported by the people around me who helped me I think that personally, I think that's my biggest achievement. Professionally, we've promoted a lot of people in GSI, and I think in the coming years we'll continue to do so. We have transformed GSI from a captive BPO into a company that's now ready to serve clients outside of Guild. I think that's a big achievement. It's a massive transformation, and I think the people in Manila, when they see this, would agree that we had to go through a lot of different changes in order to make this big change happen in fiscal year 2024. So far, these two are the biggest achievements I've delivered so far in life. But all of these will not be possible if not for the people who are surrounding me. I think what wakes me up in the day is the need for me to provide for my family, and I think everybody would identify with me when I say that. But they also give you that unique sense of inspiration to tell you that most especially when things are going against you, they'll be there. So I think I've been given that unique sense of privilege where I have 4 kids, I have a wonderful wife who's just waiting for me at home at the end of the day. I think that's what keeps me driving personally. But professionally, I always think that I have 60 staff in Manila who look forward to good news from me every now and then. I might not have all the good news all the time, but I tell them why things are not going our way and what we need to do to turn things around. But also the biggest purpose, I think, is that I'm a Filipino. I'm a Filipino in a country that's not ours. That I always carry the Filipino flag everywhere I go. In anything that I do, in anything that I say, in any output that I give, in any expectation that I did not meet or meet, there's always that sense that people will think that I'm representing my country. Nothing comes from nothing. I've seen that in a movie, I just can't remember where. Out of all the movies that I've watched recently, I think Coach Carter is the one that strikes me most. You just have to know how to motivate the people around you, try to understand where they are coming from, and this unique sense of empathy is what will unite everyone. When people are so concentrated with all the different things that are happening in their own lives, you have to know when to convince them to refocus their thinking in such a way that you'll all go towards the right direction. But then again, after realizing that people are people, they will always think that it's always comfortable for them to stay within their comfort zones. So you have to know when to shake things up. And you have to remind them that you miss all of the opportunities that you don't take. And in order for us to move forward, we have to have that courage and confidence to drive ourselves towards the goal. Because at the end of the day, we could be surrounded with the most perfect people around us, but it's just us who needs to learn how to pick ourselves up and take us towards the direction that we all want to go. It's not going to be easy, but it's going to be rewarding. So when you become a people manager, your success will no longer come from the people you accomplished yourself, but from the satisfaction of the people that surround you. So you have to learn how to empower them. Once you understand that the source of joy or the source of success will now shift from yourself and transfer to how people around you achieve theirs, that would in itself be very rewarding. So once you realize that the people around you are the one who's actually driving you towards the success that you want to achieve, that in itself is the success of a leader.